Allen, a violent vertical edge setter.
I see some gas on the edge. Get that mindset to put your shoulder on somebody. Dig, drop. You're finished. Hey, first down. This is weird, kid. Worse than that, sir.
There's a lot of misinformation out there about how that name got adopted. I mean, some people say that a guy in the stands had a bed sheet saying that, and Frank Ramos, the PR director of the Jets, put out a press release with Sack Exchange, and the tabloids picked that up. That's not true. What happened was we put that in the Jets report. We put Dan O'Connor's name attached to it. The New York Post or the Daily News, I can't remember, one of the tabloids started picking it up without giving credit.
Come on.
Yeah.
Isn't that the worst? That's the worst.
And the thing is, Dan O'Connor should be the one getting the money. And then pretty soon they were making posters, and the front four was, ringing the bell at the New York Stock Exchange, and all sorts of stuff was going on. Neither Jets report nor Dan O'Connor ever got the proper credit for it.
On mute. That was so good. I was talking about the Joe Douglas fan club. What's up with these mics these days? It was all good. I can't possibly redo it, but I said that, John. I said that Salty Nuts was the treasurer and Figgledy was the president of the first inaugural meeting of the Joe Douglas fan club. Man, it was good. Sometimes, you know what I mean? Good now, right? I'm going to dim this just a little bit. Here we go. That's better. Oh, let me do one more. So Billy SBC jumps right in with what's on everybody's mind. Joe Flacco is going to come in and the Jets win 10 straight, make the playoffs. Any questions? Yeah. Well, first of all, if he comes in, he's not going to play this week, most likely. It would be silly, right? It would be silly. Mike White's more than likely going to start this week. So that would be, we're going to be 1-6. So that's 7 games. Yeah, I guess you can win 10 in a row. Billy, I guess that's the way it'll go. So do you guys think, we'll start with a question. Do you guys think realistically that Joe Flacco is going to come in and the offense is going to look significantly better? Like not just a little bit more, a couple more first downs. Like, do you think he's going to come in and look better? Like the offense can move the ball? Or do you think that it's just going to be a shit show because of all the things that LaFleur has been doing wrong and all that? What do you guys think? Gary Peters jumps in and says the Bengals 72, the Jets 3. Huh. That'd be interesting. Flacco Sigula. I'll talk to you in a minute, Nick. I'll answer this question for you to the best of my ability. I have an answer for you, and then we'll tell me what you think of it. But so what do you guys think? What do you like? What do you think? The offense going to run better? You know, is the offense so new and, complicated for everybody that having a rookie quarterback back there, it's just too much to overcome? You know what I mean? Everybody running the new schemes. We have a rookie offensive guard. We have a rookie wide receiver starting. We have rookie running back. There's a lot. Plus, we have some deficiencies like Greg Van Roten. The offensive line, this is their first year together. It's the first-time play caller. All that stuff. You think a rookie quarterback is just too much to overcome and that Flacco coming in is going to settle it down? Or do you think it's just going to be like, no, dude, LaFleur is dog shit, and we're going to see. So Billy says, actually, yes, the offense can't possibly be worse. Yeah, I don't know. We scored 13 points this week, Billy. So it can be worse, my friend. But I get it. I get what you're saying. Nalty thinks it'll be better. Friggle D says, it just might. You like my inflection there, Friggledy? That's how I heard it. I think it's just me. That's how I read. It's funny when I do all these, like a lot of times I don't do it so much anymore, but I used to run a lot of groups and I used to run a lot of big meetings and stuff. And I would read a lot of the time. Like I would read from these books and I was very emphatic, I tried to get the inflections and the emotions correct. I'm a very good reader. I'm a good audible person. You know what I mean? Try to get everybody to. Hey, Meryl, can you put the wind? Can you do that? Can you take care of that? Sorry. I think the awning might have just ripped off. That's what that sounded like. My whole fucking RV just like lifted up. Can you just make sure there's nothing on them first? Please, I'm sorry. I'm live. Sorry, guys. It was severe. Both me and my wife looked at the same second. She was like, "What is that?" Hopefully, it didn't do any damage. That's the thing when you have awnings open. Wind comes, it could rip your awnings off in 2 seconds. So you got to watch the wind and everything. So let me get back to you guys. So Bill Liebold comes in and says, just like the Jets to get Flacco after the fact, let me save everybody. LaFleur is not an offensive coordinator. You guys hear that? That's my awning coming in. That's loud.
I think that's because it's been out for so long.
Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. So 1189 Paris says, do you think Denzel Mims can be converted to a tight end like Jerome Barkham was back in the 70s? Do I think it can happen? I think it's possible. I would rather not see that. Remember, Denzel Mims is what, 207, right? Isn't that what he is? Or 220? What the hell is? Let me see something. Sorry. I know, I haven't greased it in a while. Yeah, 207. Look at me. Holy shit bubbles. I'm good, man. So he's 207. You want your tight end to bottom line for tight ends is 235. That's small. What was that?
I don't know.
What was on there? Did you check it?
I checked it.
Sorry, dude. I'm sorry. We got a whole thing going on. So I would block. But Denzel Mims is known as an exceptional blocker for a wide receiver, right? We know that he is. He was heralded. He's very, very effective blocker. But blocking cornerbacks and safeties and blocking defensive ends, two different things. So 207, trying to throw 30 pounds minimum on him. It took Yeboah almost 2 years to do it. He gained 30 to 35 pounds, Kenny Yeboah. He's somebody that did just that, Paris. So I don't know. I would rather see us just get a tight end and use Mims where he's supposed to be. That's me. But I get it. So let's see what else. Mims will get more targets. You know what, Mark? I'm telling you right now, I really do believe that Joe Flacco is going to come here and be looking around and go, wait, where the hell's Mims? Why isn't Mims? Mims isn't the starting receiver here? A kid's a number one receiver, man. That's what he's going to be like. He's going to be like, what the fuck? What are you guys doing? That's what I think is going to happen. He'll settle in for a minute. He's going to be doing whatever he's got to do. And then all of a sudden he's going to go, wait, where's Mims? Day 3. He's going to say, is he hurt? No, we just don't like him. Why? He's the biggest target I have. Best hands on the team. And he blocks. And he's clutch. So I think that might be the case. Let's see. What else we got? Flacco looked better than Darnold last year. Yeah. Marshall Stevenson. That's what I just made a video today that I put out right before we started the stream, maybe a half hour or so before we did the Talking Jets panel, right? Over on Ryan's station before this, or channel. And that's what I said. And I'm going to answer Hunter's question as well. In the same way, Nick Hunter. I'm going to answer this in the same way. This is last year, at the beginning of the year, Joe Douglas said, or actually during the offseason before last year, Joe Douglas said there's only one person on this team that's untouchable as far as trade calls go. And his name is Sam Darnold. That's what he said. And then a few months later, we trade him, right? So what happened? Now, the offense was terrible last year. Worst offense I'd ever seen until this year. Honestly. Worst off, Kotite's offense was significantly better than what we saw last year. But When Flacco came in for Sam Darnold, his first game, he threw for just about 300 yards and a couple touchdowns. Everybody scratched their head and said, wait a second. Wait 1 second. And then he went a couple games and looked pretty. I mean, look, he didn't look great, but he looked competent. Darnold came back in and the offense died. That is where the decision was made, in my opinion. Not to say there wasn't thoughts before and there wasn't more to it. Of course there was. But my thoughts are that Flacco period is what gave Joe Douglas enough pause to say, wait a second, I have to make a decision on this. And I have the second overall. So he said, I have to make a decision on this kid this year. And I have the second overall pick. I wonder when my mic went off. You know what I mean? So I think Flacco was absolutely a part of that whole decision with Sam Darnold. Now, to answer Nick Hunter's question, what was and then I'm going to get back to this. It all fits together very nicely in my brain. And you guys tell me what you think, okay? I'm going to throw this at you. And this is what, like, the premise of my video. I'm going to give you the concise, Cliff Notes version. Excuse me. So why did we have Josh Johnson if we weren't going to play him? Why is he on the roster? Well, he's not on the roster, but he's on the practice squad, right? Why is he on the team if we're not going to play him? Well, and this is what I've been saying all along. Everybody said, we need a vet quarterback. We need a vet quarterback. Somebody for Zach to bounce things off of. That's what Josh Johnson was doing here. He was functioning as a quasi-quarterback coach. 14 years in the league, been through everything, a number of teams, some teams twice, went to the UFL, went to the AAF. I even think he might have played Canadian ball for a few minutes. Like, he's been through it. Some teams were good. He had, 35 starts. Like, so he's been through everything. He's not that great of a quarterback, but he's been through everything. Very similar to a McCown, right? Similar experience to a McCown. So they brought Johnson on for the same reason that everybody wanted a quarterback here, not to play. We wanted a backup quarterback for a vet that could be there for Zach in the same way that McCown was there for Sam, okay? That's what we wanted. The same way Brunell was there for Sanchez and that kind of stuff. So that's the role Josh Johnson has been playing. He's on the practice squad. They don't bring him up to the active roster because they didn't want to lose a roster spot for him, but he's still there. He's at the practices. He's on the team all day, every day. He's there. So he can help Zach and all that kind of stuff. Give him his thoughts, bounce things off him. When it came time to actually pick a guy to play, they have Mike White and they believe in Mike White, but that's not going to show them anything about the offense. Right now, the offense is under scrutiny. I'm telling you. I think Joe Douglas and Saleh, they're looking at Mike LaFleur. They believe in him and all that stuff, but they're looking at him. Joe Douglas brought Joe Flacco in to do the same thing that happened last year with Sam Darnold. He's going to bring him on, start him. He knows he can be competent. Again, nobody's looking for Joe Flacco to come in and win 10 games except for some of the guys in here, right? But nobody's looking for that. They're just looking for a guy they know can be average. At least move the ball, at least be proficient, at least be competent and competitive. So if Flacco can come in and be competitive, then we know a lot of the issues were just the fact there's too many rookies, too much young shit, too much confusion, and that's what's going on. Too much to overcome a rookie quarterback. If Flacco comes in and the offense is the exact same for 2-3 weeks, then he knows, LaFleur, we have some things to change, buddy. Okay? Now, whether that means that they fire LaFleur, whether that means that they give the play calling to someone else and just kind of demote, LaFleur for a little while, I don't know. But it definitely gives them the ability to look at it more objectively because now we have a guy that can actually play. We know that. If not spectacularly, at least play at an NFL level. So that's the thing with Josh Johnson. I don't think he was ever here to play. I think he was here to fill the role that everybody wanted a vet quarterback to fill. And I've been saying that for weeks. Like, we have a guy here for Zach to bounce stuff off. We might not like him, and that's a whole different conversation, right? It's a whole different thing. You say, well, why? That guy's a piece of shit. Why is he here? He shouldn't be the guy. Okay, that's a fair point. But as far as having a guy here, he's here. He's been here. When Greg Knapp died, we went out and got a vet quarterback, and we went and got Matt Cavanaugh to come in and kind of fill that void, at least to some degree. But when it came time to play, they wanted to see the offense, so they got a guy. It was worth sending a 6th-round pick, potentially a 5th if it goes well, to the Eagles to get a guy in here they know can come in and play quickly. That's my thought. So what do you guys think? Yeah, I didn't say Dark Soldier. I didn't say Flacco was great, but he definitely looked better than Sam. That's not even arguable. He came in and moved the ball. The first game he played, he threw for just about 300 yards. If I remember, it was like 290 or something like that, 280. And he scored. And he threw touchdowns every week. You know what I mean? So what do you guys think of that? What do you guys think of what I said? Hey, Mr. Recht, how you doing, buddy? Let's see. If Flacco mentors Zach and keeps Flacco for another 2-year deal, I'm all for it. Just mentor Zach, that's all I want. But Mr. Recht, that's the thing. That's why Joe Douglas didn't keep Flacco. Flacco has no interest in mentoring anybody. He said as much with Drew Lock, and he came here last year and he didn't do anything with Sam. Did you ever see Flacco and Sam sitting on the side going over books? They never did any of that shit. He's not here for that. He's here to just be a backup, fill his role, play his position, do what I'm needed. I'm sure he'll help, you know what I mean? But he's not here to mentor anybody. And that's why Joe Douglas let him go. That's not the guy. That's not a mentor. Flacco's not a good mentor. And don't forget, he said as much. He absolutely said, I am not here to teach anybody anything. That's the coach's job. I'm here to be a quarterback. If that's in a backup role, that's in a backup role. Chris, that's not true. We've had a backup. We've had a vet quarterback in the building for the entire season. Again, if you don't like Josh Johnson, that's fine. You can that conversation you can have, but you cannot have the conversation that they didn't bring in a vet quarterback to help mentor Zach. That's what's been going on the entire time. Like I don't understand. Like I sincerely don't. I don't understand what people are talking about. Now, I'll tell you what. There's another point you can make that he's not on the field during the games. That's a fair point. But he's on the team. He's here for Zach Wilson. That's why Josh Johnson is on the team. They didn't want him to play, though. And playing Mike White doesn't give you the ability to see the offense in any different capacity than you do with Zach, because you already got a young quarterback that's running for his life and confused and his head spinning. You throw Mike White in, it's the same thing. You're just starting all over. So they like him as a developmental quarterback, but they don't want to play him because it's the same thing. Now, if the offense was more set, maybe they would. You know what I mean? And look, I'm not saying I like any of this. I'm just trying to look at things as why. Like the one thing I can't accept is that Joe Douglas is so stupid that he's panicking. Like that's just, I don't buy it, man. I don't buy it. There's an entire plan. There's a plan for everything. Just like when Joe Douglas, he knew he was going to trade Jamal Adams, the trade deadline the year before when he wouldn't talk to him for 2 weeks and he went to the owner. He knew Jamal Adams was gone then. He played the good cop. Jamal's a stud. We wanted to make a Jet for life, all that. And the minute the offer came, he took it. But guess what he did in the meantime? He drafted another safety. Now, whether or not we like the safety, different conversation. But if you look at things, you can see the plan. Doesn't always work and shit happens and all that kind of stuff, of course. And you might not like the plan. That's another conversation. But you can't say that there's no vet quarterback here because we've had a vet quarterback on the team since the middle of training camp. Or at least, I think the middle, maybe the first week of preseason or something like that. I'm pretty confident that it was after Knapp died. I might have on with this fucking mic today, man. Too bad he's not the mentor type. If he was, I think we might have just entertained keeping him. But again, that's not what he. I mean, that's the going word on Flacco, is that he's not. That's not his deal. You know what I mean? Hey, Mr. Magic. No, well, they plan on starting White this week. The plan is to start Mike this week because Flacco's not. He's going to have 4 days to learn the offense. You know what I mean? So they'll give him another week to kind of settle in and at least know a skeleton version of it, and then they'll play him. But they're more than likely not just going to, sign him, bring him over here 4 days later, put him on the field. I think that's, unless he's like, a whip and he just learns everything. You know what I mean? Right. That's right, Billy. Flacco wants to start, not be a mentor. Flacco wants to keep Zach on the bench, which, honest to God, like, we already know Zach is the guy that they want to move into the future with, right? So we want a guy like Flacco right now to see if this offense is worth a shit. Flacco would like to come in and play so well that we can't take him off the field. That's what he wants to do. And that's what we want right now, whether or not we do it or not. That's what we want. We want a guy in here that's going to try his ass off to use this offense to the best of his ability for himself. That's what he wants to do. And that will give us the ability to gauge this offense. Because, look, I'm going to tell you right now, I am not in favor of how LaFleur is doing anything. Nothing. From the personnel, the choices of players we're keeping on the bench and all that. I think Yeboah should be out there. I think Mims should be out there. I think Tevin Coleman should have been cut for Josh Adams, and Perine should be playing. I mean, I don't like very much of what I'm seeing. All right. So if Flacco comes in and plays well, then maybe I have to second guess my own opinion. But that's where I am right now. Yeah, that's it, Iowan Jets fan. Like, that's the thing. It's like, it feels to me like everybody's like jumping on this one. And like, when I first heard it, my thought was like, what? Like, that was my first thought. What the fuck? What is that? Why are we trading picks? And you know how I am with picks, even late round picks. I'm like, why are we trading picks for a guy like, and then I had to feel, I'm like, what would the reasons be? Like, that's how I do. I'm like, what is this? Like, whenever I hear anything, I'm emotional first, always. I go, that's fucking bullshit. That's the way I always respond. Doesn't matter what it is. Somebody cuts me off, you're a fucking asshole. I don't think that, the guy's wife is pregnant. I don't think any of that stuff. You're an asshole. Like, that's how I start. Everything to me is that's some bullshit. It's my first response to 90% of the things that happen on a daily basis to me. Okay. But then very shortly thereafter, I have a process like, okay, well, what is this? What is this really? And let me see. And the conclusion that I've come up with that makes sense, not that I agree with it entirely, but it makes sense, is that Johnson has been here to mentor Zach Wilson, at least fit that role a little bit, in the same way that Kavanaugh was brought in to help LaFleur and Zach as well, right? So they brought those guys in they've been around the NFL for a long time. Kavanaugh, 30-something years. Josh Johnson, 14 years. So they brought those guys in to just kind of help out. When it came time that we needed to play someone, they went and got a vet that can play. They didn't want to do that. Is it right? I don't know. But that's what I see. David Gerard says, I get it, but I'd rather a vet quarterback that has NFL experience. Josh Johnson's experience. Well, he has 14 years of NFL experience, David. He has 35 starts. He's been on numerous teams. He's actually, I think the main benefit for him is that he's been in this offense more than once. He was on this offense last year. So he can definitely help. And I get it. Like, the way I see it is like, just get a vet that can be a mentor and play if you need him to. There's an idea, right? But like, when the guys that we were talking about, Nick Foles has never been, labeled a mentor either. Nick Foles is the guy that comes in and steals your job. Minshew, you know what I mean? Those guys, like, Minshew wants to start, man. He doesn't want to mentor anybody. So like, those guys, the pickings were thin. Mullins is garbage. The Eagles cut him. They signed him and cut him. He's, that's the thing. It's like, when you look at what you really want, you have to, it's like that old saying, be careful what you wish for, right? Like, I think this way they were trying their best to build the young quarterbacks. That's what they're trying to do. Zach got hurt. The offense has been anemic. It's not working. The last thing they want to do is start all over with Mike White. So they had to second guess it, and they went and got Flacco. I would have just started Johnson. That's what I would do. But I don't know what Johnson looks like in the practice. Maybe he sucks. He looked good in that preseason game, didn't he? That's right, Chris. He is coming here. Flacco wants to win. Flacco would love nothing more than to have a Vinny Testaverde-like resurgence at the end of his career. And it's happened. It has happened with what the hell's his name? The guy from the Raiders. I want to say Grogan, but that's not him. What the hell was the guy's name from the Raiders? Remember? He sucked. And then all of a sudden he went on Raiders. He had this great end of his career. Remember that guy? You know what I'm saying? That's the other thing, Greg, and that's what we don't forget. There is a familiarity, if not with this offense, with Joe Douglas. Joe Douglas has been with him 2 separate occasions. So maybe he trusts Flacco. Maybe he knows he can speak on the level to Flacco. Maybe they have a great relationship. I don't know. Like I said, my first thought was like, what the hell is this? And then I thought about it, and I came up with some plans, Flacco is going to make the Jets understand what they have in Denzel Mims, so that's a positive. Like I said, Frankie, I honestly believe that Flacco is going to be like, why the fuck isn't Mims out there? He's the biggest, best, youngest, strongest, best receiver we have. Like, what are you guys doing? Now, I don't know if he'll have the balls to say that or whatever, but that's what I see. He's going to be like, dude, I love that kid. Flacco was good with Mims last year. Remember the first 2 games, he had 8 catches for 140 yards or something like that? Something like that. Right. Litmus test. There you go. 1189 Paris. And that's what I'm saying. Like, again, we don't have to always agree with everything, but like people are saying it makes no sense. And I disagree. Again, would I do it? Maybe not. This way? Probably not. But it does make sense. There is a logic here. And let's see, like, if they felt that Josh Johnson wasn't going to give them an opportunity to see the offense, maybe they thought he would be able to, but he's not. And Mike White is going to be the same thing as Zach Wilson. It's a young guy freaking out, trying to learn. You know what I mean? So they didn't want that right now. They said, we want to see if this offense is worth a shit. We want to see if Mike LaFleur can do anything, if he's competent at all. What's up, John? How you doing, buddy? It's good to see you. So Gitmo Bob says, I'm very disappointed with Saleh, who doesn't seem to be able to motivate the players or coaching staff. I agree, Bob. Like I said in the previous stream, the word I used was confused. Like, I'm confused. Again, Saleh wasn't my number 1 choice. All right. I wanted Greg Roman, who they didn't even interview. So there goes that. I wanted, I'm losing their names. There were 2 college coaches, the guy from Northwestern and the guy from, what the fuck is, I forget. I only got so much space in here. I want to say Michael Campbell, but anyway, so I wanted, those were the guys I wanted. Okay. When we didn't interview them and we interviewed Arthur Smith and Saleh and did we interview Dable and Joe Brady and just some, Harrison and all that. Saleh was the guy that I liked the best out of that group. And when they hired him, I felt good about it. Why? Because he's supposed to be this rah-rah guy with the effect of Rex Ryan, but more intelligent and like more, less emotionally driven. It was like, okay, at bare minimum, we're going to be competitive. We're going to be energetic. People are going to run through a wall, as everybody says, right? And I'm confused because I haven't seen that. To me, it looks quite the opposite. And Saleh's words to me are also confusing. Why are you talking about their money so much? He's like, I always tell these guys that, we want to get you to the best position to get paid. Like, That I don't know. He's said that like 4 times that I've heard. And every time, even the first time, I was like, that's an interesting thing to say. I guess, hey, if you get the guys motivated by what motivates them, okay. But I don't know. I think it's like the wrong avenue. Like we drafted all these blue collar, these team captains, these guys who are known to be team, hard workers, work through their issues with each other, support one another. And we're talking about money. Like, I don't know. It just doesn't jive to me. And it doesn't jive. It hasn't jived all offseason. I didn't understand. I didn't like it. But I was like, okay. I just kind of ignored it. And now when you see the product on the field, I'm like, I'm confused. I don't know what the hell's going on. It's just weird, dude. So Chris says he loved the move when he first saw it. I felt it was a Joe D move to check the OC. Now Saleh can't say rookie make LaFleur fail. That's what I said in my video, Chris. I said I wouldn't be surprised to learn at some point that this is Joe Douglas saying, hey, I want to look at something now. Okay, I let you pick your guys. We're seeing, there's more than enough talent on this team. Again, you just asked the question, if Andy Reid or if Sean McVay had this exact team, Denzel Mims, Jamison Crowder, Elijah Moore, Michael Carter, Corey Davis, and even Zach Wilson, would Sean McVay's offense look like this? And I have to say, I'm pretty confident that it would not. I think it would be, if not lethal, it would be competent, which is all we're looking for. That's it. So I wouldn't be surprised to find out that Joe's like, he's putting Saleh, if you're not going to talk to your guys, I'm bringing somebody in here, and this is who's going to start. So I'm with you there, buddy. I know. Now, which part of that is funny, Jeremy? Jeremy says they will simplify. He says, I think he's saying simplify the offense, and Flacco is going to go off with their receivers. That would be hysterical. Right. Now, is it hysterical because they simplified it? You know what I mean? Which is what they should have did for Zach in the first place? Or is it funny that like Flacco comes in and shows everybody what the hell's really going on in here? And Zach is just not ready for the NFL, which would be fine. Like, look, if Flacco comes in for 3 weeks and throws for 3 bills and 3 touchdowns every time, and we win 2, 1 of the 2 of the game, whatever, but we're in every game, and Zach is ready to come back, do you put Zach in? Or do you just say, hey, you know what, kid? We're going to say that you're injured. Just sit out and watch for a little while we get all the rest of the team in order. Then you come back next year. We'll have a whole year, you just settle in. Understand it inside and out, watch a pro. You know what I mean? I don't know. It'll be interesting. And that's what I think Flacco gives you that Josh Johnson and Mike White don't. They give you at least the ability to potentially look at it from a different lens. And I wouldn't be surprised to find out that was a big Dick Joe move. I'm telling you. Oh, look at this. And it's Frickle D says Big Dick Nick. That's funny. I just said it's funny to me. Why did we both just say that? You probably said it an hour ago, and I'm behind on the comments again. That's how it goes with me. Yoshi chimes in. What's up, Yoshi? He says, the only reason I can come up with is that it's really young team, and you still want to evaluate what you have in these young guys. Playing White multiple weeks could make that entire team quit. That's right. That fits nicely with what I'm saying. Right. You want to see what the offense looks like. You still want guys like AVT, Corey Davis, Elijah Moore. You want these guys to be able to mesh well together. You want the offensive line to be able to play. Who knows? Maybe all of a sudden, because of the way Joe Flacco is playing, maybe everything starts to click. I don't know. It happens, man. It happens. So let's see. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, right. Adam says, don't forget, we beat the Titans. We have talent. Yeah, I mean, dude, we have talent on this team. I'm never going to say that we were a legit Super Bowl contender, or that we were even going to make the playoffs, right? My honest, like, we played around all off season. We did a few live streams, and we came up with 11-6 and 12-5 and all that stuff. But my honest take was that I was thinking between 7 and 9 wins was the realistic. And I said, if the ball bounces right, like 7, 8, 9, if the ball doesn't bounce right, like 6, 7, that's all I was looking for this year. And I would have been ecstatic with progress. Lots of young bodies running around, lots of young coaches. Let's just get progress. But I've been disappointed with that. But that said, everybody was positive when the season began. Why? Because you looked and there was talent everywhere, even after the injuries to Carl Lawson, Vinnie Curry, LaMarcus Joyner, and all those guys. Blake Cashman. So it's like, we all felt good for a reason. We were saying this was the best offseason we've had in a long time. Now everybody's saying it sucks. I don't roll like that. I believed in it not because everybody was saying it was good. I believed in it because I looked at the players and I believed in it. Now, I'm never going to pretend to be a GM or to be a coach, but I do have a certain acumen. I have the ability to understand things, at least to a certain degree. And there are things I liked and there are things I didn't. The things I liked were significantly greater than the things I didn't. So I felt good. Now, what I'm seeing is that those things that I like are not being utilized. Why? That's where my problem is. And Denzel Mims is just the tip of the iceberg. He happens to be a huge tip of the iceberg, which is, I just can't get it. Like, finally, we get that receiver that should have been a first-round receiver, like Michael Thomas, like Terry McLaurin, like DK Metcalf. They slip through, and finally it's us that grabs them, and our coaching staff refuses to play them. It's fucking maddening. That's the thing, Eileen. That's what I was kind of saying. Like, I don't know. I think he's probably going to say something. I think that he's going to come here. He's not really trying to preserve anything. He was traded here. He's like, I didn't ask to come here. Like, you want me to play? This is what I say. This is what I think. So I think we can see either way. Either he just shuts up and he's a good boy, or Joe Douglas came in here and said, listen, man, be yourself. I want you to be yourself. I want you to shake things up. I want you to tell them how you see it. You know what I mean? So I don't know, Eileen. It could go either way. And then what if he starts talking? Will they even listen? That's the question. I don't know. The last thing I want to see is some sort of split locker room and mutiny type of shit. But listen, man, the players know. They're not dumb. It's like when Woody Johnson came in the locker room and said, this is the greatest win in my history as the owner. What? You've been to 2 AFC championship games. Like, they knew. They laughed because it's the dumbest thing they've ever heard. Like, they're not a bunch of morons. Guys like Woody Johnson or even us, for like, we think that like players don't understand, like they don't see. Everybody sees. They know when a coach is full of shit. They know when a guy's full of hot air. They know when they call a play and they're like, why on God's green earth are we calling this play? Now, they'll run it. But a lot of times their confidence starts to wane. When they know they have an opportunity, it's 2nd and 5, we're driving, and you want to throw the ball 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage with Elijah Moore blocking. Like, Elijah Moore's probably like, me? Why? Yeah, 15 play install. That's right. Just give them 15 plays and let them. Here's what they're going to do. Throw it all over the place. That's it. Just air it out. Premier talent. I would tell you this. I would say that Denzel Mims is an absolute premier talent. I would say Elijah Vera Tucker and Mekhi Becton are premier talents. Absolutely. I would even argue that Morgan Moses is just under that level. He is an above average, solid starter in this league. Hasn't missed a start in 10 years or whatever, 8 years. You know what I mean? Like, we have studs. Don't forget, Connor McGovern, before he came here, was a top 10 center in this league for years. He comes over here and in this shit show, and all of a sudden he looks like he can't put his head on straight. You know? So that's what I would say. Our offense, and then, so there is premier talent right there. And then you got guys that are above average. You don't need premier talent at every position. We know that. You need competent and you need team. Jamison Crowder, Corey Davis, they're good above average starters at their positions. Michael Carter, the running back, we don't know. He hasn't hit a hole yet. He's juking people behind the line of scrimmage. So what the hell's going on there? But yeah, I think, it's all about building the team. When you talk about premier talent, how long has Joe Douglas had to bring in premier talent? Realistically, 2 years, 2 drafts, right? Elijah Moore is also supposed to be a premier talent. So when you have 2 drafts, and the 1 year was drafting for a different coaching regime, like, you have to look at the realistic time frame, right? Like, realistically, he's chosen not to go out and buy the most expensive names. The Jets have done that for 20 years, since 1994, longer than 20 years. And it has never worked for us. Never. It's even the first year of free agency. We went out and got Leonard Marshall, Ronnie Lott, Boomer Esiason. It didn't work. We drafted Marvin Jones. Like, we had all these great big names, and it didn't work. And it's never worked for us. The only time it worked is when our core was built through the draft, and then we sprinkled in the big names on top of them. We got Braylon Edwards and Santonio Holmes and Chris Jenkins and Bart Scott. Like, we did that on top of what was here. David Harris, Nick Mangold, obviously DeBrickashaw Ferguson, Darrell Revis, you know what I mean? Those were all drafted. So it takes time to build that. Now, when you look at the premier talent, generally speaking, you get premier talent with premier picks. So Joe Douglas has had 3 premier picks so far. He drafted Mekhi Becton, Elijah Vera Tucker, and Zach Wilson. That's what he's chosen to draft with his premier picks. Then you got the second round picks. He's brought in Denzel Mims and Elijah Moore. You don't like Denzel Mims and Elijah Moore? I do. Shit, everybody was talking about Elijah Moore being rookie of the year. Now we can't use him. That was the second time we used him on an end around. So the second or third time the whole year. And he fucking ran for whatever 30-yard touchdown, whatever it was. So it's like, yeah, I mean, premier talent, there's not so much here, but there's definitely talent here. And some of the Elijah Vera Tucker is already playing like one of the best guards in the entire league. And he's going to need a minute. Don't forget, people, I want to remind you guys, I don't know how long anybody's been here, but the first 3 years of DeBrickashaw Ferguson's career, I was arguing with people on message boards, Jets message boards, that they were saying he was a jag. He's an average at best left tackle. Now we look back and it's like, wow, man, DeBrick and Mangold. What? But that wasn't the way it was for the first 3. It took him 3 or 4 years to get into Pro Bowl form. And he was sloppy. He was good, but he was sloppy. I argued with people all the time. There were people saying he was a bust in his first year. Believe me, man. This shit, these conversations that we're having right now are not new. It's the same shit every year with the different names on it. Jets fans like to label people that they suck, or they'll label them that they're the best. It's like there's no in between with us, with our group of people. And I happen to have been on the internet talking about the Jets since 1990, what was it, 96, 95? I started talking on the internet about the Jets with other people. If Matthias is here, Matthias Simon, he'll tell you. He remembers, man. I don't know what year it was. He was on there when I got there. I know Matt for a long time, man. So, Dean Britton says they are not yet premier players. Fantastic point, my friend. That's the point I've been telling everybody. How can they not be premier yet Denzel Mims and they can be busts yet? See what I'm saying? Does it make sense? I'm totally with that point. Like when you ask about premier play, I can tell you the guys who have the potential to be premier players, who are supposed to be premier players. But we don't fucking know. Whoops, here I go. Hold on. Sorry. Now I got the sparkly light camera for you. Ooh. I'm your brother. I'm staying alive. Right? There it is. I'll turn that off for you. Hold on. That's too sparkly. There we go. Let me clean this for you. Hold on. I don't have any more batteries. 3 hours online. It's just my batteries are toast. So I got to go to the webcam. Yeah, I agree. But the thing is this with Saleh. I'm not seeing what I was told I was going to see. You know what I mean? Like, I'll give anybody time. Anybody. Like, I'm not a fan of firing guys right now. Adam Gase was different because I thought it was the worst hire ever. I couldn't believe that it was real. When the report first came out, I was waiting to hear that Mike McCarthy was going to be our coach or Matt Rule. One of those two guys was going to be our coach. And then all of a sudden this report came down the pike that the Jets have hired Adam Gase. I said, that is bullshit. That's not even real. I was online all night waiting for that's a fake account. That's what I was waiting for. So the fact that we did, and then the press conference said that guy's on methamphetamine or cocaine. No doubt in my brain. You guys know that's my expertise. That's what I do for a living. All right. I work with the addicted. That's what I've done for 15, 16 years. I know what I'm looking at. I said, that guy is not okay. And that was after I hated the hire. So I couldn't believe it. So I was waiting for that. And then I still rooted for him, of course. But when he came in, that dude, 0-6, I was just like, I was miserable. You know what I mean? So that was a different scenario because I knew the moment he was hired that we were going to be in for at least 2 years of misery. And we were. But Saleh, I'm willing to give these coaches a long time. I am. I think you got to give guys 4 years. You have to. You can't start over every 2 years, man. People want to fire these guys now. Like, I'm not there, but that doesn't mean we can't tell them this is unacceptable. There should be competence and there should be addressing. Like, look, here's where I'm most disappointed. Okay, this is the number one thing. Their offense was anemic. We haven't scored a point in the first quarter. They had 2 weeks to look at it after a very disappointing game in London, okay, where I thought they blew it, okay? They blew it. They go sit down for 2 weeks, super depressing, disappointing, and they come out and they did the exact same thing. That, to me, is where I'm disappointed. That's it. J.E., you're dead wrong, my friend. I don't think you know what you're talking about. I really don't. You could give me every example you want. I will have 5 examples for every one you give where you're wrong. Like I said, I've been watching the Jets a long time. I know what an incompetent GM looks like, and I know what a GM that knows what he's doing looks like. Okay? Now, that's not to say that he's going to nail everything, and that's not what I'm saying. There's been plenty of things I didn't like that he did, but I can see the plan. When people say there's no plan, I can't even talk to them. I can't even engage because that's so far from what's real. Like, what actually happened is Joe Douglas sat down with the Johnsons and told them his 5-year plan. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to evaluate this year, and then I'm going to, I have to tear the whole team down. He sat with him last year, and I don't know exactly, of course. I'm just telling you. He said, this is going to take X amount of years. Here's what I'm going to do this year and what I'm going to focus on. Here's what I'm going to focus on this year. They already know. He's not on the hot seat. He's not going to be on the hot seat next year. It's not happening. Unless the whole bottom falls out and some crazy shit, right? Something that we can't see happens. Joe Douglas has shown competence on numerous levels where we have never seen it before. I think you're crazy. And that's not to say I'm happy with everything. You know what I mean? You know how much cap space? I think it's what was it? 8 million, 12 million, something like that. I forget. I forget. But it's a lot. You know, the funny little joke is we're still paying Tremaine Johnson more than our entire defensive backfield this year. I mean, well, at least all of our cornerbacks. I'm sorry. Let me say it that way. Hubie Bronkers, that's the problem, my friend. That's the problem. You nailed it. 5 years, not in New York. That's the problem. They gave Rex 6, and they gave Bowles 4. So, you know, but Jets fans want to change every 10 minutes. It's like we're either the best team in the world, we're going to dominate everybody, and as soon as we lose, everybody jumps to we suck, fire everybody. It's crazy, right? The awful Tremaine Johnson signing, dude. Don't forget, this is where we were. We gave Quincy Enunwa a contract that was more than he was worth, number one. And I liked Quincy Enunwa, but it was still more than he was worth. He had only had one full season at that point. He was on injured reserve, and we gave him a contract that guarantees his money through injuries. Guess what happened? He got injured, and we're paying Quincy Enunwa $4 million this year. I think it's $3.6 million this year. So, JE, look, let me just tell you this. The fact that you're bringing up the injured guys does not support your point. Cameron Clark never had an injury in college. Never. He would be our starter right now if he was playing. Guaranteed. Now, I can't prove that, of course. It's just bullshit. But that was the plan. The plan was they had a three-way battle at right guard. Elijah Vera-Tucker, even though he was in a battle with Dan Feeney, he was getting that spot. There was a three-way battle at right guard between Greg Van Roten, Alex Lewis, last year's 2 starters, and Cameron Clark, the 4th-round pick from the year before, who was switching from tackle to guard. They wanted to give him every opportunity to win that job. And of course, he was going to start at 3rd string. He's going against 2 NFL starters. He was going to win the job, and he's going to be a nasty motherfucker. That guy is badass, okay? He's nasty. He almost got paralyzed. How can you plan for that? Saying he sucks? He doesn't suck. His career might be over. Well, Michael Perine, if he was on the field right now, he's better than Tremaine Johnson. I've been saying it for the entire offseason. Tremaine Johnson sucks. There's a reason he keeps getting cut. He got cut from Detroit. He can't block for shit. He's dropped 3 or 4 passes this year. You know what I mean? Like, why is he starting? This is what I'm talking about with this coaching staff. These are the areas that I'm disappointed with. But then anybody saying that Perine sucks does not know what they're talking about. They're jumping into the lynch. I have studied this kid. Now, am I saying he's Barry Sanders? No. But saying he's a bust, it's silly, man. First of all, he's only had 1 NFL season. JE, you've been around. It takes 3 years to evaluate a draft class, even to the slightest degree. You cannot, remember, let's look at the opposite. And I used this example in a video. Sheldon Richardson won Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year. Every Jets fan was ecstatic, over the moon, even though they hated the pick, right? And I remember 99% of Jets fans hated that pick, just like they hated D. Milliner. And I hated them both too, okay? Didn't like either pick. Sheldon Richardson won Defensive Rookie of the Year. Every Jets fan thought he was going to be a part of our long-term plans. What happened? 2 years later, he was traded to Seattle. He was there for 1 year. moved over to Detroit. He was there for 1 year, went over to Cleveland Browns. He's been there for, this is his second year, I think. And he's okay. But everybody labeled him like a Hall of Famer. And it didn't go that way because his first year was not the indicator. Now, when you look at a guy and you say he sucked because his rookie year wasn't anything, dude, that's wrong. Hold on. I'm going to show you guys something. Hold on a second. Let me show you guys some shit. Let's see. See what we can do here. If I have it. Okay. Let me show you guys something. I was making a video, but I just didn't feel like finishing it. So let me show you. I'm going to show you guys something, okay? Hold on. All right, you guys ready to see some LaMichael Perine? All right, watch this. So here we go. I'm going to show you guys some LaMichael Perine. Now, I want you to remember that LaMichael Perine, he was like 85% of the time that he came on the field, Adam Gase handed him the ball. So what that does is defenses, when LaMichael Perine comes on the field, they have a pretty good idea that he's the guy they're handing it to. 85% of the time he was on the field. Now, I forget if it's 87 or 83, but it's something like that. It's like 85%. When he came on the field, they keyed on him. So you got to know that going in. Now, I want you to watch him, okay? Let's see what we got here. Let's see if this, I hope this fucking video works. Hold on. So this is his first start, I think it is. Come on with this. Whoops. I suck. Hold on. All right. Why is it not working? Bear with me, guys. I'll figure this out, I think. I hope I will. Okay. Now, this is every run that he gets. Okay. Let's watch this. Hopefully it'll work. Ah! Why are you doing this? Sorry. I kicked myself off, man. All right, hold on. I don't know if this is going to work. I'm trying to show you guys, but it's for some reason the file's so large. Can you guys still hear me? Sorry about that. I'm an old bird. You know how it is. Oh, Salty, I see you, man. Let me try to do this. I'll get right to your thing. I appreciate that, man. Just bear with me for a second. Let me see. I don't know if it'll work. I hope it does because I want to show you guys some stuff. This fucking video, man. Like, why isn't it working? I got nothing running. Oh, I don't know if it's not working. Let's do it this way. So here's LaMichael Perine. Look at this. So he's got the speed to get around the edge. People say he's super slow. He's got the speed to get around the edge. Now, he's not blazing or anything like that, but he's faster than people give him credit for. Okay, so that was an 11-yard run. Okay. Okay, you ready? Okay, watch this. Makes him miss. Okay. Guy gets through. This is the line of scrimmage where he's meeting the first guy. Boop. Come on. I can't. It's not working. Anyway. Okay, gets past that guy, gets another 6 yards after first contact. So, look, it's obviously not going to work, all right? So, I'm sorry. I'll just stop sharing it. But I'm going to tell you guys. I'm going to tell you right now. generally speaking, I have probably done significantly more work on a lot of these guys than the average bear. I'm not saying I'm great or anything like that, but like my opinions are generally based in fact. I don't read shit and people tell me what to think. People will write stuff and I go, okay, let me look at that. And I disagree all the time, and I'm not always right either. But I'm just telling you, like, I don't like LaMichael Perine because I was told to, like, I like LaMichael Perine, and I think everybody's dead wrong. And that's not to say I think it's going to be great. I think he's better than Ty Johnson. And if he was in the team number one, he's known for his blocking and he's got great hands. Two things that Ty Johnson has failed at. Yet the coaching staff keeps Ty Johnson in and they won't play this kid. Now, is he hurt? I don't know. But saying he's a bust, dead wrong. Dead wrong. Sherwood, he just fucking blew his Achilles. What do you want? Nasruddin, he's on IR. So he gets another one. He's on our practice squad to see if he can stay healthy on there. He hasn't stayed healthy yet. Now he's the only draft pick that came here with an injury concern. The only pick. But let me tell you something. He was a draftable player. Absolutely. Yeah, I know you're frustrated. And that's I'm frustrated too, man. So like what I do in response to frustration is I look at stuff. I sit down and go, what is happening? Like, what am I seeing? Am I wrong? That's what I do. I'm deranged. And then I call Ryan or O'Leary. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? You know? So Salty Nuts Magoo, thank you for the super chat, my friend. He says, we were ready for a bumpy ride this season, but not being competitive is unacceptable. And watching our guys roll over and quit is all on the coaching. That, to me, is the problem. For some reason, like, here's the thing. Like I've shared with you, I disagree with like 7 or 8, maybe more, maybe less, 7 or 8 personnel decisions that they've made this year. I do not agree. I'm like, I don't understand. I don't agree. But then again, I'm not the coach, so I give them that. Now, when what they're doing doesn't work, then I start to second guess and I start to, what the fuck? And then it's like, it's still not working. They're not changing and they still won't use the guys that I know are talented. I start to really question it. Like John is saying, the fact that they're not ready for the game, they don't even do, they come out looking lethargic. That is not what I expected from Robert Saleh. That's the bill of goods I was sold, right? That this is a rah-rah guy. He gets people are fired up, man. They used to let him speak to the whole team before the Niners games his last year. Remember Juszczyk? He said, that guy made me want to smash my head through the table. Where's that? I don't see it. So I'm with you, man. And the fact that they came out of the bye 2 weeks to review everything and they didn't think they needed to change anything. They still can't cover a screen. They still can't cover a running back coming out of the backfield in the flat. They still can't cover a tight end. Why? You still have Elijah Moore out wide. You still got tight ends out wide. You still don't have Denzel Mims in the game. You got Elijah Moore in blocking position. Why? You're running behind the right guard? Yeah, me too, Adam. So thank you, John. I appreciate it. And I agree 100%, my friend. I really do. I hope Clark gets back too. The sad part about it is I think this is one of those injuries that he's probably doing a whole bunch of self-reflection. That was scary. Remember, they ended practice and everything. They were terrified. It shook the whole team. The plan was for Clark to play. The 3-person battle at right guard that we had between 2 NFL starters and a 4th-round pick that they believe in, 2 of them were gone. Clark, almost paralyzed, spinal injury, and Alex Lewis decided to retire. Now, I'm not going to say Alex Lewis is some world beater, but there was a competition. Once they were gone, Greg Van Roten knew the job was his. Competition breeds success. You know what I mean? Yeah, Bib Dib V. That was another pick I hated. I hated that fucking pick. I loved Becton. And I loved Mims, man. I even loved the trade. I didn't like the trade when it happened because I wanted to take Mims. I was like, Mims or Claypool. Either one, but I preferred Mims. And then when they traded back, I said, this is the same shit I see these guys are morons. And then they traded back, gained 2 fourths, and a sixth, right? 2 fourths and a sixth to move back, and they still got Mims. And I said to myself, holy shit, wait a second. I might have a GM on my hands. And then they picked Ashton Davis. And I was like, we had Jamal Adams and Marcus May. I was like, what the hell's going on? Now, what does that tell you, Bib? What does that tell you? Like when you deduce, to a conclusion, what do you come to? I come to Joe Douglas already knew Jamal Adams wasn't going to be here. He was already preparing. And that to me shows foresight. It shows a plan. Now, whether or not we like the player, the guy was heralded. He was highly touted, incredibly athletic. He's another one. He can't seem to stay healthy. Now he's on the field. Last, 2 weeks, I think? 2 games? You think he came on in Atlanta, had 3 tackles? So we'll see how it goes. He's another one. He's essentially, he's in he played 6 games his rookie year, something like that. Another one, he needs to stay healthy. I don't know what to think about it, but I didn't like the pick when it happened because I was looking at our team the way it stood. I didn't know we were going to trade Jamal Adams, but Joe Douglas did. So he got himself a safety, an athletic safety that was known for hard work, team captain type, all that shit, super fast. You know what I mean? So, So it's crazy, man. And it's so disappointing, guys. I'm with you. But for me, and look, so there's lots of people, they just look, it's better to gripe. That's fine. I have family. My whole family's like that. We get together for Christmas and we complain at each other. That's what we do, So I know, I get it. And there's nothing really wrong. We just like to bitch. That's my family. They're complainers. So I know. And some people, that's all they want to do. They want to complain. Me, I've worked really hard to get out of that. I don't like to complain for complaining's sake. Like I said, my natural first reaction is always to complain. Fucking bullshit. But I like to go out of that and go, okay, well, what's really happening? Then I like to come to a conclusion. I might not like the conclusion, but I like to try to figure it out. So with me, I'm still, while I don't think Joe Douglas is perfect, let's remember, he's a rookie too. This is his first time. He's not a rookie anymore, but this is the first time he's ever had the keys. It's the first time he ever hired a coach. How does he know what he's looking at? He might come to the conclusion at the end of the year and go, I fucking made a mistake and fire everybody. I don't know. But the example I used in my most recent podcast is Steve Keim. Steve Keim was the GM of the Arizona Cardinals since 2013. He had a DUI arrest. He went to alcoholism treatment, all kinds of stuff. He hired 3 head coaches. One head coach, Steve Wilkes, he hired. So he hired Steve Wilkes. They used the 9th overall pick to draft Josh Rosen. 1 year later, he fired Steve Wilkes and drafted another quarterback. Jets fans would have lost their minds. And it was surprising through the NFL that Steve Keim wasn't fired. Everybody thought he should have been fired. The ownership said, calm down. He has some issues. Relax. I like him overall. He's doing some good stuff. He needs time. 2013, he's been there. That's 8 years. And he's just now fielding a team that is worth a shit. Last year was kind of, you could see that they were moving in the right direction. Traded for D-Hop, you know what I mean? But look, don't forget some of his draft picks, Akeem Butler, all those guys. There's lots of guys that aren't making it. But the Arizona Cardinals fans are calm. They're patient. We're not. We're calling for JD's head because he made a few clams. But overall, look what he's done. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. That's funny, misdirect. I see what you wrote, buddy. So this is what I was talking about. ZZ Gable. He had a vet quarterback here the whole time. Nobody just wants to talk about that. He had the mentor here for Zach Wilson the whole time. Greg Knapp passed away. They brought in Josh Johnson and they brought in Matt Cavanaugh to try to fill that void. And Zach gets hurt week 6, whatever it is. And they decided Josh Johnson, while we like him in the mentor role, we don't want him to play. So they went out and got Flacco. But the vet quarterback thing was answered in the middle of preseason. People it's weird. Like, I don't know. Everybody just keeps talking about it. Like, it's like he's not here. He is here. Now, like I said, you can say I don't like him. You could say that's not the guy I wanted. That's viable. That's legit. Whether you're right or wrong, we don't know, but that's your opinion. That's fine. But to say that he's not here, he's here. Joe Douglas took care of that second week of the preseason, whatever it was. Yeah, Frankie. I know what Frankie's getting at. You guys know who that is? Guess this running back, first 3 years in the league. 490, 744, 1059. You guys know who that is? You guys know? I know who it is. I recognize those numbers. I know who it is. You guys know? Freeman McNeil. That's funny you guys say that. No, that's not true. I love Freeman. Look, I got him right here. See? It's my buddy. How you doing today, Freeman? There he is. Glowing like with the green specter he is. Right, Dean Britt, I hated the James Morgan pick too, but we have to remember how we got there. You know what I mean? There he is. Jeremy knows. Jeremy, you're an asshole though. You know Frank. You know the whole thing. You shouldn't be allowed to guess. You're the family member winning prizes. You shouldn't do that. No, it's Derrick Henry. It's Derrick Henry. So what's the point Frankie's making? Not everybody comes out and lights up the league. Is anybody going to say that they wouldn't love Derrick Henry on their team right now? But his first 2 years, Jets fans wouldn't have wanted him. He's fat. He's slow. 490. What? He's never even had 1,000 yards. That's honestly, that's the mentality of the fire Joe Douglas crowd and all that. That's the response that you would have had to Derrick Henry's 2 years. His third year is when he came on. And he still his third year, he was a single use back. He had no ability. I think he had 19 catches in his whole career or something like that. So he's one-dimensional, 490. Jets fans would have hated Derrick Henry. Hated him. I'm just telling you. I know. I've been hanging out with Jets fans a long time, boys and girls. You know what I'm saying? Jeremy guessing. Jeremy shouldn't guess. Johnny Hector. Yeah, some good names, though. Look at you guys. Riggins, Hector, Martin, Freeman. You know? So, look, we got to give these guys a minute. You know, I saw a stat today. Said, Joe Walsh, Bill Parcells, maybe, who was it? What in the hell did you get there? Holy shit, scared the hell out of me. Just a face. I can't see. I'm fucking blind. I got these lights in my eyes. All of a sudden, I saw my wife's face, like, hey. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't even see you come. What do you want? You're turning the heat on?
I'm freezing.
Okay. Should use some more blankets. Right, so think about that, Frankie. Derrick Henry's first year was 490 yards. Michael Carter has 200 in 5 games. Or what is it? What is our record? 1 in 5? 6 games? And people are calling him a jag. Sucks. What a waste of a 4th-round pick. But to talk about the James Morgan thing, I hated the James Morgan pick. Hated it. Now, it's funny because I hated the Ashton Davis pick. I liked the Zuniga pick, although I thought he was a bit overdrafted. I was looking for Zuniga in the mid-4th. I didn't want him in the 3rd. I had other guys I wanted. But I liked the pick because I liked the player. I liked him coming out. Nice edge presence. He was solid, but injured. So I didn't think a 3rd-round pick. I thought he was overdrafted, but I liked him. So I liked that pick. And then we went to, I think, LaMichael Perine was our first 4th. And I went, oh, I thought he was a little bit overdrafted too. I thought Perine was going to be a late 4th, 5th. And I was screaming. You know what I was yelling during LaMichael Perine? I was saying, Bryce Hall. You can't believe it's the 4th round and Bryce Hall's still sitting there. So we grabbed Perine. But I said, okay, but I like the player. I think you should have waited. I think you reached. But I like the player. Then we took James Morgan. I said, oh, my God. Then we took Cam Clark. And I said, oh, okay, nice. Good pick. Small school. He's changing from tackle to guard, but I liked the player. I thought he was a 5th, 6th. Again, I thought we reached a little bit, but I liked the player. Then in the 5th, I was yelling Bryce Hall the whole 4th round. Then in the 5th round, we got Bryce Hall, and I said, So, like, here's the thing, and I ask people this all the time. I say, now, if we would have drafted Bryce Hall in the 4th and Perine in the 5th, would you feel better? And so many people say, yeah, I would. I said, what the fuck's the difference? You know, but that's how log jammed we get. And I understand it because I'm doing the same thing. But at the end of the day, I just look at the class. I go, okay, that's a good class. 2020 is a good class, but it was for Gase. But let's remember how we got those 4th round picks. So Joe Douglas created those 3 4th round picks by making moves with Seattle and the Patriots. He created those picks. He got the 3rd round pick that he took Ashton Davis with in the Leonard Williams trade. So he was creating these picks. He created some space that he could do things that are outside the box, that aren't needs, maybe, I don't know. And he drafted a quarterback. Again, I hated it, but I get it. Like that's an Adam Gase quarterback. I still don't like it. And I still think it was a wasted pick. But you got to remember what was going on here. And Adam Gase and Joe Douglas were on the same level. Joe Douglas wasn't above Adam Gase. If Adam Gase wanted the quarterback, they took the quarterback. He had just as much say in that room as Joe Douglas. Remember? They were equals, and they reported to Chris Johnson. And Gase was here for 6 months, whatever it was, before Joe. So he's the one who got Chris Johnson to fire McCagnon. So he had Chris's ear. Joe had to slowly just get there. It's funny to me how people don't consider any of this stuff. It's real. It's excuses. No, it's not. It's real. Yeah, Pat Ryan. Remember Pat Ryan? Yeah, that's right. Pat Ryan was here for 10 years, I think it was. You know what I mean? That's a good point. Like people said, I saw that today, said we got to remember that Joe Douglas is an Adam Gase hire. Why is Joe Douglas great and everything else Adam Gase does sucks? I'll tell you why. Because Joe Douglas was the next big GM candidate. I think it was the Vikings, or maybe it was the Saints. Somebody tried to interview Joe Douglas the year before, and the Eagles refused. They didn't let him interview. That year was the first year he was going to be able to interview for that job, for GM jobs. He was known as the number one candidate on the market that year. He was going to be the next GM, period. So we got lucky with when Mike McCagnon got fired, even it was an asinine time to fire him, to give him the draft and give him the free agency and then fire him. Stupid. But the one benefit of it is that it enabled us to have singular negotiating time with Joe Douglas. And we got him. Damn, you guys are bringing out the old names today. When I was a little kid, I remember I saw names like Gastineau and Augustiniak, and I literally thought, remember, I'm so young, I was like 9. And I remember seeing the names, and it was someone else too. I forget who it was, but Gastineau, Augustiniak. I remember thinking the Jets are the team with long names. That's what I thought. The Jets are the team with all the weird long names. Like that's that you have to have a long name. Like, I don't know, stupid. But that's how it stood out to me. Augustiniak. That guy was a brute. ZZ Gable says, what confuses me about Saleh is I love the hire is that he isn't an energetic defensive guru, motivator with cojones, wimpy punts. I don't know, right? That's I'm literally confused. And then when he says things like it's not my job to motivate them, these guys they know what happened. I'm like, I don't think you understand what you're up against here, friend. This is the New York Jets. We're looking for someone to gut this shit and reinvent. Like when Rex came in and like kicked the doors open. You know what I mean? This is the way it's gonna be, motherfucker. Like that's how he was. I'm not here to kiss nobody's rings. I'm here to beat that guy. Now it's like, I don't need to motivate them. Like, what? That's not what you said. That's not who you are. What do you mean, Scrooge, Mark? What did I say to make me Scrooge? What did I do? I yell at my wife. She scared me. Yeah, Ted. Bryce Hall was the steal of that draft. That's how I feel about Nasruddin this year. Nasruddin was being talked about in the late. Honestly, he was being talked about as a first round pick. Then, like, he had the injury, he came back and everything, and he was talked about being like a third round pick. We got him in the sixth round. Now he's hurt. I don't know when the hell that's going to stop. You know, I guess we got to give this medical staff time too. Don't forget, Joe Douglas did that too. He reinvented an entire new, an entire new system. 4 new doctors, with one doctor managing the whole batch: nutrition, medical, rehabilitation, training. Their doctors are running every bit of that. They're working on individualized training programs for each player, as opposed to just having an overall training regimen. I guess that takes time too. I mean, I don't know what you can do about Achilles tendons. We have 2 of them this year. That's such a shame. Dude, Sherwood, he's a young guy. I mean, Carl Lawson. It's crazy. Yep, no pain, no gain. I'm almost like I'm trying hard not to talk about it. I've been asked to do mock drafts like at least 10 times. I'm like, I can't do it, guys. I can't. Not yet. You know? It's just, it's crushing me. No pain, no gain. It is. It's crushing me. And the thing is, we don't know what this season's going to be. Like, at least bringing Flacco on is interesting to me, because we're going to get to see what a vet who has been successful can do in this offense. And I said, I don't think they're expecting him to bring us the Super Bowl, but Joe Flacco's coming in here. He's going to try to have a Vinny Testaverde resurgence. That's what he's going to try. A Paisan has done it before in the New York Jets uniform. Right? So that's good. Who knows? Maybe he does. Maybe we have Zach Wilson sitting on our bench for 2 years because Flacco's, 9-1. Who the fuck knows? I don't know. But realistically, what we're looking at, we just want to see if this offense can run. Is LaFleur lost? Can he not even utilize, or is it just the fact that we have too many rookies out there at once? I don't know. It's going to be crazy. Wish I could show you guys the Perine tape, man. You guys would like it. I'm telling you. I found every play that he ran, and I didn't make it. I found a guy who made that video. I talked to him. I asked him if I could use it. He said yes. And I made a whole video about it. And it was just long, and I was even bored watching it. I'm like, I'm not putting this out. And I just never finished it. Yeah, well, what he was talking about, Michael, was he was talking about their whining and bitching, right? He was talking about like Sheldon Rankins and like, why are you crying, dude? If you want them to stop running it up, stand up. Maybe get to the quarterback, Sheldon. Huh? Maybe that. Maybe that. Yeah, Dylan, he's not starting this week because it would be silly to have a guy come on and 4 days later start for you. So they'll probably have, he's here to start. He's just not starting this week. I would be blown away. Blown away. You don't trade us. I don't know. I'm not even going to get into all that. But I think Flacco is here to start, and they're just not going to take him and throw him to the wolves before he's even had a week to sit with the offense. You know what I mean? But they'll trim it down. They'll, like was said earlier, they'll give him 15, 20 plays. He'll learn those plays, and they're going to run him over and over. That's what they're going to do, which might be exactly what the hell we need. That's what I was saying to do with Zach. Why do you have this novel and you're throwing out? I don't know, man. It just doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, I don't know. I'd be blown away, Dylan. You know, like I said, it's smart not to start him this week, and I think that's exactly what they're doing. You know, they're just getting them acclimated. You know, I don't know, Bib. I completely disagree. There are numerous examples of guys with his size that are goodwills. So I think that's what they're working on. Don't forget, Saleh did it with Warner. He's already done it with him. I always want to say Wagner. I always want to say, I confuse those guys. It's like July and January. I always say the wrong one. I say Quincy Wilson constantly. Like, I'm broken. So I'm glad. I think I said the right guy. No, I don't know. I mean, look, maybe at the witching hour, you know, they say, oh, by the way, Flacco's starting. I think they'll probably just stick with White, and then next week he'll start. But I don't know. Well, I think it's twofold, Kamal. I think it's twofold. One is we're a bruised and battered organization, and it's very difficult to separate what you've been dealing with and be told every couple of years that it's this is new. We're starting a new one. It's hard. I get it, but it's the truth. You know what I mean? We're starting a new regime. I mean, you can't. I mean, look, when you look at the exact facts that Joe Douglas was hired after a draft and after free agency, and we ding him for Khalil. We had no offensive line and no cornerbacks. He went out and made some moves. Like, he talked the guy off the couch who was a Pro Bowler. He just said, hey, dude, I need to do something. He talked him off the couch. And it didn't work, but it was a great move. It's as good a shot as any. And then he traded the 6th for Hairston from the Colts. And he got the 6th back because Hairston didn't meet the the requisite, the agreed upon quantity. And he used the same 6th with the Colts again to bring on another second round cornerback in Quincy Wilson. Neither one of them worked, but he's trying to, you know what I mean? He's using these pigs, he's trying to do stuff. But that first year, that was Adam Gase had equal say with Joe Douglas that first year. And Joe Douglas had Sam Darnold, the whole thing. But he just used his draft picks. He drafted offensive linemen. He drafted 2 offensive linemen, 1 with the 11th overall pick, 1 in the 4th round. He brought in 5 more. He brought in 7 offensive linemen that first year. 7. When We drafted 2 linemen in the 5 years previous. You know what I mean? It's a big change. And then he fired everybody, gutted the medical staff, got rid of Tremaine Johnson, Le'Veon Bell, Darrell Roberts, Quincy Enunwa, Kelechi Osemele. He had to get rid of all those guys. Frank Gore, like the whole thing. He had to get rid of everybody. And then he started over. And he would have even gotten rid of C.J. Mosley, in my opinion, if he could. The contract wouldn't let him. And I'm glad he didn't, but I'm telling you, $17 million for a middle linebacker, it's not smart. But I think C.J. Mosley's earning it, which is it's refreshing. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's right, Mark. I forgot to ask you guys to hit the like button. Hit the like button if you can. It means the world. Also, a couple things. I don't know if I told you. I have a pretty cool contest going on right now. December 27th will be my first year on YouTube. I was Jetnation before this, but this is my own channel. December 27th will be 1 year. So to commemorate that, I'm trying to get one final push to end that year with 5,000 subs. So all you got to do to be entered in the contest is sub here and then go to Full-Time Coaster Tour on YouTube and sub there. Once you've done that, you're in the contest. If you want an extra entry, go to my Instagram and GreenBeanjetsfan and follow me there. That'll give you 2. And then 2 winners are going to get a t-shirt of their choice from the merch store on GreenBeanjetsfan.com. And then 1 winner is going to get another t-shirt from the store and a Manscaped Ultra Smooth pack. So all you got to do is sub. Oh, it's it. Just click, and you're in. 2 clicks. Click here, click on Full-Time Coaster Tour, and that's that. And I'm going to, December 27th, or when I get to 5,000, I'm going to, if it happens before that, I'll do that. But I need like 900 more. That's it. So I need 100 a week. So if you guys haven't subbed, that would be great. That's right, Jeremy. No happenstance. Here, I'll let me see if I can show you what it looks like. I'll show you a thing. I'll show you the website. Why not? Let me see. Show you my website. Let me share if you guys haven't seen it. Here we go. Here we go. Do, 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 do. See it? Can you see my website? So here's my website. It's really neat. You got the whole thing here. These are all links and all that. This video plays. Hey, everybody. This is GreenBean. That's me. You do that whole thing. And then here's some of the shirts. This is the no happenstance line. You see? And you got, then there's a 10% off sale going on right now. But this is the merch store. That's just that one. Hold on. Let me get you to the whole merch store. So you got all this stuff. You got the hoodies. You got the I Could Give 2 Shits Joe Douglas shirts. You got the face shirts. You got the hoodies. You got the ladies' clothes. See, you got the women's. You got all this shit. You got cups. Look, you got the masks, dresses. Watch this one. Look at this. Ooh, look at that. Buy that for your lady. Wouldn't that be sharp? Your lady walking around with my face as she does yoga at the gym. I think she'd like that. Walk around with the bearded Wonder Boy on her leg. Look how hot that is. That's nice. You should buy that for your lady. Cool stickers, you know what I mean? Mugs, all that stuff. See? Jeremy has these. These are great. His wife modeled it for us last week. That was awesome. See? Can you guys still see it? Did you guys not get? Oh, it didn't even show you. This fucking thing. Hold on. God damn it. It only stays on the one page. I'm sorry. I'm showing you guys stuff here. Here's the merch store. So look, you got the whole no happenstance line. You got the hoodies, right? You got the Joe Douglas I Could Give 2 Shits shirt, right? You got the hoodie here. I Could Give 2 Shits. You got the face stuff. You got the ladies, cuts. You got the masks. Like I said, you got the stickers. Look at this. Here it is. Wouldn't it be nice to have your woman working out at the gym with that on? Wouldn't that be nice? Wait, let me see. God damn it. I can't see anything. I suck. Anyway, that's what it looks like right there. See? Wouldn't that be nice? Buy that for your lady for Christmas. But you walk around, hey, bring GreenBean to the gym. See what everybody thinks. So you got all the stuff in here. Anyway, that's what that looks like. But yeah, so all you got to do is click and you're in. Where is it? I'm going to shut this off now. Stop sharing. And also, I have the sports memorabilia, the top link in the description. All orders over $50 get you free shipping. And dude, it's the best store on the internet, man. The link takes you right to the Jets page. You got Sack Exchange helmets and Joe Namath and LaDainian Tomlinson, all kinds of just great stuff. And there's all sports, but the link brings you right to the Jets page. So the link to the merch store is just GreenBeanjetsfan.com, Jets mess. It's just GreenBeanjetsfan.com. The link's down below. It's on there somewhere, but the links to all my social media and website are on there. But the first link is the sports memorabilia. The second link is the Patreon support. If you guys want to, like the way we do think about Patreon is value for value. You know, if I add value to your life, it's $5 a month. It's a tip. You know, give me $5 a month support. $10 a month, $10,000 a month. That's in there too. You can do that. You know. Let's see. For what man, Abstraiku? Who are you talking about? For that man, everything I learned about him, what he is doing, what he takes these losses, and how he is dealing with it. There's a lot going on. I only get told things. Who are you talking about? Oh, Abstraiku. So, okay, here we go. Abstraiku, thank you, man, for the super chat. I appreciate that. I am very familiar with a member of Saleh's family. I think you've told us that before, right? I'm telling you, he is the real deal, and there is more going on behind the scenes than you think. Interesting. Well, I imagine that there is, right? I mean, there always is. That's why, like, a lot of times I say that, but we don't know. We don't know the whole story. We don't see. We're not at practice, all that kind of stuff. I guarantee there's much more going on than we think. But you know what it boils down to, Abstraiku? All we want is not to get made fools of. That's it. That's all we want, buddy. And if you can feed us anything else, that would be great. I know you don't want to betray a relationship. I totally get that, and I'm not asking you to. But let's see what else you say. So here's, if you don't mind, Abstraiku, I'm going to continue this. So he says, I have massive respect for that man and everything I have learned about him, what he is doing, how he takes these losses and how he's dealing with it. There's a lot going on. I only get told things, right? Because I don't, right, exactly. We don't want, we don't want to try to pry, but because I don't talk details with people, I saw this family member multiple times a week, right? I feel like I remember you mentioning that to us when he was first hired. I feel like that. He accepted the Jets job. Can you tell us that? Was it because of the fans and how great and supportive we are for the long haul? How we never turn our back? How we go through thick and thin? Is that why he took the job as Straiku? I heard those fans stick with you no matter what. And they never fly banners or ask if get fired. They at least give you 3 years before they start talking like that. Right? We know that ain't it, man. So what does he say? That's my one concern. However, I believe he will. I say is JD has high expectations. Yeah, I bet he does. I bet he does. Yeah, there you go. It was the fans. See, I told you. I know how things roll at Straiku. That's good. Well, thank you for sharing that, man. That's always appreciated, And again, we definitely don't want to try to pry details, but to whatever level that you can tell us stuff, we will listen. Okay? That's all I'll say. All right. So, and that's cool, man. Thank you for sharing that. And that's the thing, like I've said a million times. I even said it on the previous stream on Ryan's channel. I said, when I talk about football, I'm talking about football, right? I'm talking about the NFL. I'm talking about my relationship with these people as it applies to a football team. In reality, I'm rooting for the human race to be loved. I want people to be fed. I want people to be loved. I want people to be supported. I mean, I'm a therapist, man. You know what I mean? Like I have helped literally thousands of people. I pull young girls out of crack houses. I've gone into shooting galleries and fucking fought with the people to get somebody out here. Like I'm taking her. I've dealt with police and U.S. Customs trying to get, people on planes to go to treatment. I love people and I'm supportive. My wife and I were into service. We help people all the time. So I'm rooting for everybody and I would help anybody. If they were sincere and legitimately in need, I would help them. Okay. Any of you. That's the truth. But on the football, as far as the NFL goes, fuck everybody. That's how I feel. Sam Darnold, I want him to fail. Why? Because he's not on the Jets. And because we get a better pick if he fails. Jamal Adams, I want him to fail. Why? Because he's not on the Jets. Plus, he called us jerks on the way out. Not fans, but our organization. So I want him to fail in Seattle. As far as a man, I want Jamal's family life to be great. I want married, kids, whatever he wants. I hope he reaches all that stuff. You know what I mean? So as far as men, yeah, man, I'm rooting. Like, look, let me tell you this. I don't say this one often, but I feel bad for Greg Van Roten. Why? Because he's a Jets fan. He grew up as a Jets fan. And he's having a hard time, and the Jet Nation hates him. There's very few Van Roten supporters out there. You know what I mean, guys? So that's tough. Now on the field, fuck you, get out of here. Why can't you block, man? Like that's the thing on the field as a football person. But in real life, my heart breaks for that guy. He's going to leave. He wanted so badly to come here. Remember, he overrode his agent. His agent wanted to hold out to get more money. He just said, no. Just sign the contract. Remember that? He signed the contract when his agent wasn't even there. He said, give me the contract. He wanted to play for the Jets. He wanted to come home. The whole thing. And now he's going to leave here. Well, us throwing eggs at him. Ah! You know what I mean? So it's like he's probably going to leave and go like, that was the worst experience of my life. And now I can't help but feel bad for him. I can't. On the field, I don't care. Does that make sense? Like, do you guys understand that? How that works? Like, once we remove it from football, dude, I'm not rooting for anybody to suffer. I'm not. It's quite the opposite. I'm really a nice guy. I am. Right. Goddamn right, Richard. Right? Yeah, man. Grateful, Anders. Yeah, man. Well, Nick, we just talked about this. Didn't we talk? You were here. You asked that. Did you leave? Because you asked the question and then I answered it. Did you leave and come back? I spent an hour on that. You guys are nuts. To make it quick, Josh Johnson was here to do what everybody wanted a vet for. He was here to help Zach Wilson. He's not here to play. And almost like an on-the-field coach thing. That's what he's been doing here. He's been here since the second week or the first week of preseason. So that's what his role is. His role is just to be here. You know, Greg Knapp passed away. We got Matt Cavanaugh and Josh Johnson to kind of be here for Zach. But when it came time, Zach got hurt and they need somebody to play. Putting Mike White in, even though he's going to play this week, putting Mike White in is the same situation. It's like with a young quarterback, you know. So they went and got Flacco to put him in and see what the offense actually can do with a vet in there. And that vet to play is not Josh Johnson. Josh Johnson was here specifically to help Zach. That's my thought. That's my real thought. And it's not all random, man. You know what I mean? This is their job, you know? Well, Greg, it's not right. It's not a money thing. You know what I mean? I'm just talking about, like, when I think about the human aspect of it, it's like, shit, this was his dream. This was his dream. And he overrode some stuff to make that dream happen. And now we hate him. So it's tough, man. Do I have a soft spot for Geno? Absolutely not, dude. Geno screwed us, in my opinion. Now, we ended up getting that that miracle season out of Fitzpatrick. But don't forget that team. People say we didn't give Geno talent and everything. That team was built for Geno. Chris Ivory, Brandon Marshall, Eric Decker, Jeremy Curley, I think it still was, right? He was our slot guy. Who was our tight end then, too? I think we had a decent tight end. I forget. But so we built that team for Geno. And then he's an idiot. And don't forget, Geno he had the most turnovers in the league the year before. Remember that around the back thing he did? He was getting sacked like by his own goal line, and he decided to try to take the ball and put it around his back. And they ended up getting a touchdown because he's a moron. Like, that's the thing. Geno Smith has every physical attribute that you would want in a quarterback. The problem with him is he's kind of doofy. That's always been his knock. And he's kind of an asshole. Evidenced by the fact that his own teammate broke his jaw in the locker room. Where does that happen? Here. Us. We deal with that. Nobody else deals with that. Have you ever heard of such madness? I never have. Maybe Greg Tarr knows. Greg's got a great memory. Greg, do you remember any quarterback getting their jaw broken in the locker room by his own teammate? Yeah, Nick. You asked the question early, like way in the beginning. I talked for a few minutes and I said, okay, now I'll get back to Nick's question and somebody else asked a question about Flacco, and I put it together and I spent literally 30 minutes on it. No exaggeration. So, yeah, that's what happened, buddy. Oh, Abstriku's back. Okay. So he said, I'm going to give you guys one detail. Now, Nick, I don't know if you were here. Abstriku shared with us that he has some relationship with the Saleh family, and he speaks very highly of him and respects him a great deal. So he said, I hope my boy doesn't see this because he will know it's me. I asked if he believes in the curse. I got a roundabout answer, but it sounds like yes. Makes him work and pray harder. Good. That is the best news I've ever heard since this season started. Okay? It's been all bad news. The best news is that they actually believe the curse is real, because it is. I don't know what it is. I don't know the specifics, but it ain't nobody that can tell me that this curse isn't real. And that's the thing. You have to overcompensate here. You have to assume shit's going to go bad here, that your quarterback's going to get knocked out, that you're going to lose 4 of your 5 wide receivers, that your big edge rush, like the 3 edge rushers that you bring in free agency, they're all going to get injured. Carl Lawson, Achilles, Vinny Curry, rare blood clot disorder, Ronald Blair, uninjured reserve. Like, you have to know that going in. You have to overcompensate. You can't think that one free agent's going to be the guy. You can't. Doesn't work here. Who else has a butt fumble and a broken jaw? Who? Right? So that's good, Abstriku. Thank you for sharing that. And Abstriku wanted to add one more detail. This. Fuck Geno. Well, Kamal Aguilero says, here's a crazy take. Why didn't we trade that 6th for Nick Foles, especially since JD and him won a ring together? Well, I don't know. Was Nick Foles really available for a 6th? Did he get traded? I don't think he did, right? Let me see. I mean, there was like rumors and stuff that Nick Foles was available, but he's still there. So maybe he was never available. Maybe they wanted a 3rd. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know. I'm sure Joe Douglas kicked the tires on that. Like I said, I think optimally, you want the guy who can mentor your quarterback also be able to come in and play. That's optimal. But that's not what happened. It's not what happened here. So, I think they did the thing that everybody wanted. People just refused to acknowledge it. Josh Johnson was here as a vet quarterback specifically to help Zach Wilson and be a practice squad guy. So he's on the practice squad. They allow vets now because of the COVID protocols, and they kept them here just like everybody wanted. There's a vet quarterback in the building. He could spend as much time with Zach as he wants, or that Zach wants. And people just refuse. They keep saying vet quarterback, vet quarterback. He's here. But when it came time to actually put him on the field, they chose not to. They didn't think it would be a good idea. It still doesn't mean, like, look, what do they say about people who can't play? They coach, right? People who can't play coach. And Jeremy knows this one. Jeremy Cravat. It's like, what do they say about people who can't do? They teach. Right, Jeremy? So that's the thing. You know, a lot of the times, you know, he might not be the guy you want to throw on the field, but as far as a guy who's been through everything in the NFL and can bounce stuff off him and knows this offense because he was in it more than once and was in it last year, it's probably a good guy to have around. It's not working. I'll tell you that. But, you know, that's the thing. Like, everybody complains about this, but it's here. It's been here the whole time. And like I said, when it came time to put somebody on the field, they thought better of it. And Joe went out and got a guy that he trusts to play. But fucking make no mistake, Flacco's no mentor. Do I believe the curse is Joe Namath's fault? No. Like think about this. Let's talk about this for a second intellectually. Do I think that Joe Namath sat down with the devil? Like a guy, a devil and horns, or like a guy in a suit with a flaming pen? Like, do I think that meeting ever happened? No, I don't. That's the thing. Like, when we say, you know, Joe Namath made a deal with the devil, like, okay, what does that look like? What does a deal with the devil look like? You know, did he meet him at the crossroads and play a riff? Like, I don't know. Did they sit down and sign his soul away or something? I have a hard time believing that happened. Now, do I believe there is a need of some cleansing? Yes. That's why I like Joe Douglas. In my opinion, it looks like Joe Douglas gutted this place. You know what I mean? That's what it looks like to me. And it's what I've been asking for over a decade. Like, I didn't even like that McCagnon kept, or whoever kept Terry Bradway around. I was like, what is this? No, it wasn't Idzik. Tannenbaum. Yeah, they kept Terry Bradway. He was our GM. Like, I'm just sick of like the holdover stuff. That's why, even though I like Brant Boyer, I was okay with Brant Boyer being shown the door. Like, dude, just clean it. Clean it and start over. We always have holdover people. I love that he got rid of our trainer. Just get everybody out. We don't know where the problem lives. Get it out. Get all the smelly shoes and throw them in the dumpster and light it on fire and get new shoes. You know, that's how I see it. So that's one of the reasons I like Joe Douglas so much, is that he's the first GM to weather the onslaught of bullshit that he's getting, to take more time to do it the right way. Build through the draft, collect assets, clean the place, tear it down. Remember, he also got rid of those scouts when he found out. Do you guys remember this story? He found out that there were 2 scouts that were leaking shit to the press, and he gutted them. He found them out. So how do you do that? You have to put some things in play. Remember Tyrion in Game of Thrones? He wanted to find out who the mole was, so he told 3 different people a different story about what he was going to do. And then the queen came and yelled at him and said, "How dare you send my daughter to this place?" And he knew who told him. He knew who the leak was. So Joe Douglas had to do some shady shit like that. And so he found the moles and he uprooted them. Look, even the Joe Douglas detractors can't say that he's not running a tight ship. There's no leaks. It's airtight, man. They never find out what he's doing. We found out that Sam Darnold was traded from the NFL office. They said it has been submitted to the NFL that the trade is done. That's how Ian Rappaport reported it. They don't know anything about, like, when we hear rumors and this and that, 9 out of 10 times they're not even close. And when they do hear stuff, it's from the other side. So, like, that's the thing. I'm a big fan of that. But the curse, I don't know where the curse lives. I'm sure Joe Douglas is looking. Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't know. Let me see. So the story is that Joe Namath traveled to the same crossroads Bob Dylan went in the summer when he disappeared and came home. One of the best guitar. You're thinking Eric Clapton, not Bob Dylan. I'm pretty sure anyway. Best guitar players to ever live, where the king of darkness waits. Is that the story? I never heard that. I never heard the story about Namath going to that spot. I have heard the Eric Clapton story. So maybe Joe Namath went down to the crossroads and made the deal with the devil. But then, you know what I don't understand about that story? That theory is, why does that affect me? What the hell did I do? Why does Joe Namath, why does his deal affect us? Fucking affect him. Why does he get to, he sold his soul. He's got everything he ever wanted. That's great. What about us? Why does that affect Striku? Why does that affect Bob Dibby and Yoshi and B-Trav and, all you guys? Why does it affect Greg Tarr? Daniel Yanez? You know what I mean? Nick Hunter says, off topic, but the Jets should have never fired Mike Tannenbaum. You think? Mike Tannenbaum, his act was about to crumble. That's what happened. Now, I think that he should have been here as long as Rex was here. They should have been a package deal. I don't think we should have fired Tannenbaum, kept Rex, and then tried to hire a GM to keep Rex. That was doomed from the word go, because no GM worth a damn wanted their coach picked for them. They didn't want their careers attached to a coach who was sinking. And Rex knew that they were in trouble, so he made it look like it was Tannenbaum's fault by not playing Tebow and the whole thing that happened that year. So that's what I think. I think, dude, we were underwater with the cap. Underwater. And he had no draft picks because he traded them all away. He traded Mike. Now, in his defense, he built some of the greatest teams we have ever had, right? But it was short-lived. We needed to win it then. It was a built-for-now team. And it didn't work. And then we were going to have to pay the piper. And that's what, as much as I don't like Idzik, in his defense, what he did was he came in and he was responsible for clearing out Tannenbaum's bullshit. And he had to get everybody out of here, get all the guys off the books. He did a great job cleaning the cap and getting a series. He got 4 comp picks, the whole thing. But he didn't know. Listen, the truth is Rex made those picks, not Idzik. And Rex didn't know how to pick players. Rex sucked at picking players. For all the great things that Rex was. Terrible GM guy. And he was picking the players and doesn't know how to do it. And nor did Idzik, because he's an accountant. But he did a really good job cleaning it up. And then what Idzik did, Mike McCagnon came in and won Executive of the Year, spending Idzik's money and his draft picks. He didn't have that many draft picks the second year. I think we had 8, right? And we had 12 the year before, the Idzik 12. And the only guy worth of shit was Quincy Enunwa, 6th round pick. Crazy. So that's the thing. I don't know if I agree with you, but I think that Tannenbaum and Rex should have been tied at the hip. They go as each other goes. You know what I mean? Mike Tannenbaum was an accountant too. Let's not forget. And dude, let me tell you something. That team that he built, Nick, Rex and Tannenbaum destroyed it on purpose. They let Braylon Edwards go. They let Brad Smith go. They let Jericho Cotchery go for Derek Mason. They went and got a guy from jail, Plaxico Burris. They spent all that time trying to sign Nnamdi Asomugha. They let all the leaders go. Sean Ellis's last game as a Jet, he had 3 sacks on Tom Brady, dude. 3 sacks on Tom Brady in one game. And we let him go. That was the year we lost all of our veteran leadership. Almost all of it was gone. Now, we still had Nick Mangold and Ferguson and some other guys, but there was a vacuum, and they filled it with punks. They made Santonio Holmes a captain. He's a piece of shit. They brought in Plaxico Burress and Derek Mason, two guys known to be punks. And they let Brad Smith, Derek O'Cotry, Braylon Edwards, Sean L., all those guys were gone. LaDainian Tomlinson, they were all gone. So that's why they got fired. They destroyed. All they needed to do was keep that team together so they have another year playing together and add draft picks to it. That's it. Bolster the team, but they didn't have draft. I think they had 4 draft picks that year. Correct me if I'm wrong. That might not be the year. But Jesus, let me see who our 2011 Jets draft. Six picks. So that was the year we drafted Muhammad Wilkerson with our first round pick. Then we got Kenrick Ellis, another defensive tackle, Bilal Powell, Jeremy Curley, Greg McElroy. Remember him, the quarterback from Alabama, and Scotty McKnight. Remember they used that pick on Scotty McKnight because he was friends with Sanchez. Like Rex did that more than once. He drafted Taj Boyd because his son was his friend. He went to school with him at Clemson. Rex did pick Geno. Absolutely. Don't forget, Geno Smith was supposed to be a first-round quarterback. He was the number 1 quarterback of that draft. And then the Bills went and drafted, what was his name? Elijah. What was that guy's name? The quarterback with the big hands. Remember him? So the Bills surprised everybody and took that quarterback before Geno Smith. Remember how pissed Geno Smith was when he didn't get picked in the first round? He was at the draft and he sat there the whole first round. They didn't pick him and he was going to leave and go home. And the Jets contacted him and said, don't leave because if you're there with our pick, we're going to take you. Because he was a steal. He was supposed to be a first round quarterback and he slipped all the way to the second round. It was like a Drew Brees kind of a situation. Remember? E.J. Manuel's, Hank, there, the Yank Yoshi. Right. I remember John Connor, sure. Quentin Copels. Remember they had how many years in a row they drafted defensive tackles and defensive linemen? They didn't know what the hell they were doing. Yeah, that's right, Bill. And then Sean Ellis went to the Patriots and they went to the Super Bowl. They lost to the Giants. But like, think about that. Sean Ellis was here for 11 years, I think it was. He was a great Jet. He was great. Great team guy, leader, no trouble. I think he got in trouble once for smoking pot or something dumb like that. But he was a good dude and he was effective. Very good against the run and quality pass rushing skills. And he was solid the whole time. And we screwed him. And then he went to the Patriots for that 1 year. And because of that, Jets fans have all but erased him. He's gone. Isn't it crazy? It's nuts. John Abraham and Sean Ellis, the 12th and 13th picks in the draft. It was actually Sean Ellis first. 12 and 13. You want to know what's funny? I didn't really know much about the draft then. I just knew like some names. But I remember when they said John Abraham, I said, who the hell is that? I did. I wanted Lavernius Coles, though. I did. I wanted the Coles, and I wanted him in the 3rd round. And we got him. I couldn't believe it. I loved Chad. I loved that we took Chad in that draft. Loved it. I couldn't believe we were getting a quarterback at, 18, I think he was. So, all right, dudes, let's see what else we got, and we'll wrap this up. It's late, man. It's almost, 12:35. You guys are crazy hanging out with me this long. Jim Leonard, right, Pump of Wall Street. Jim Leonard was great. Solid dude. Another one. Great team leader. You let him go, too. Everybody was gone. That's funny, Yoshi. You said E.J. Manuel's highlight of his career is getting us to jump off sides in that Week 17 game against the Bills in 2000. Yeah, I know. Isn't that crazy? Little shit like that. That's crazy. I know, right, Rodrigo? I know too much stuff, man. You know what I've been watching lately? I've been watching all kinds of stuff about the lost civilization that really built the pyramids and all that shit. If you guys ever get into that, man, take a look. I know way too much now, and there's no doubt in my mind that there was a world civilization, and there was a comet that hit or something like that 12, 13,000 years ago. There's all kinds of proof of it. And it just wiped out the whole thing, and we had to start over 12,000 years ago. That's what happened. But anyway, so that's why, Rodrigo, I sit around, I watch the Jets, and I learn about shit, you know. I know, don't even get me started on roller coasters. So don't forget, guys, get in the contest. If you haven't subbed here, give me a sub right here and go over to Full-Time Coaster Tour. Even if you just want to give me a solid, go over there and support me over there. All you do is click sub. I think I'm at like 940. I want to get to 1,000 so I could maybe get the advertising revenue over there. It's not a lot, but I'd love for that to be helping me. Don't forget, I'm on the road, man. I don't have a job. I haven't worked in 2 years. I'm trying to keep this thing going, take my kids on every roller coaster around the country, talk with you guys about Jets all damn night. So I love you guys, man. I do. This helps me because I was not in a good place when we started that. Not that it's ruining my life or anything, but as far as the Jets are concerned, I wasn't in a good mood. So I got 2 hours with Ryan and O'Leary. That always helps. And 300 of you guys. And we've been over here for the last 2 hours and 5 minutes. So you guys are the best. So do me a favor, please hit the like button. It really does help. You guys undervalue it. It's important. Hit that like button. Give me a sub and go over to Full-Time Coaster Tour. Give me a sub there. If you do that, you're entered into the contest. You can win yourself a Green Bean shirt, or you can get a shirt and the Manscaped Ultra Smooth package. I'll throw some stickers in there and stuff too. So yeah, man. I love you guys. I think this was great. Hopefully I can help you guys out a little bit too. I'm not always right. You know, I'm just trying to look at things constructively, trying to see it through a lens that's not just, I hate that we suck. I hate it. It's not what I wanted. Oh, Greg, you can go over to Full-Time Coaster and like all those. But anyway, I appreciate it, Greg. You know what I mean? You're a good dude. So I will, Friggle D. The Fall of Civilizations on YouTube. Phenomenal. Yeah, man. Awesome. That's the kind of stuff I'm into. I don't know. Yeah, I'll answer one more question. Kamal says, why, as fans, are we still in love with this team? It's an abusive relationship, Kamal. It's very textbook. It's textbook. They promise us they won't do it again. So we go, okay, I love you. And then they do it again. And then they say they're sorry. That's what it is. This was a good show, Bill. I'm telling you, this was a good one. I enjoyed myself with you guys. But that said, I'm going to bounce. You guys have a good night. I'll see you. I just put a video out. So what's today? Tuesday? I'll see you on Thursday for the Thursday Thick of It. And then I'll be on John's show, New York Jets, NYJ Today. Next Wednesday, too. I'll do that. But yeah, then we have the Saturday show, New York Jets Worldwide, with my co-host Jeremy Cravat, and we'll be doing that Saturday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern time. But yeah, so you guys have a good night. I'll leave you with the intro, and I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great night, everybody.
I think he's going to be day one, a violent vertical edge setter.